this sucks. My times ain't even nowhere near strong side. I said, well, you got to do it. You know, my philosophy is, man, it shouldn't happen in reality. It should happen on the flat range. We'd make up stuff like, what's that? What did you used to play, horse in basketball? Yeah, it'd be like 100 meters, right arm, underneath the tire of the vehicle, one shot. Is it hokey? Yeah, but in the end, it's getting you to think, and, you know, if you ever lose one of those things, it's going to happen. You're going to have to figure it the fuck out. So why not figure it out on the range before it really happens? Is sort of the thought philosophy on it. But I don't get an
argument. If we talk about it on here, we can talk about it sooner and publish it. But thanks for coming on. I messaged you the other day on Instagram, and then I was like, I passed your table twice today, and then I was like bugging him up yesterday. I was like, hey man, hit up Gabe. Get Gabe. Maybe we can get Gabe on. And then I saw both of y'all together. I was like, see if we'll say no right now. And you didn't, so appreciate your time, dude.
Yeah, no problem, man.
For real. Been following you for a long time. If you don't know who we're sitting down talking to, we've got Dan Brokos and Gabe Rivera. Do you go by Gabriel or?
No, I go by Gabe.
You go by Gabe. Okay, so both from Lead Faucet.
Yes.
And Mindset Tactical as well.
But Gabe's actually, he has his own company, but he's going to start, well, he has been working for what, 3 years?
Yeah, about
3-4 years with Lead Faucet. So he does classes on his own and AIs and PIs for Lead Faucet, and he still has his own company.
And y'all do a lot of LE military training.
I would say for the most part, it is 90% LE and military. I first started this. It was a combination of nothing wrong with teaching open enrollments with a mix of civilians and law enforcement, but I've just been fortunate enough to, I won't say not have to, but that they come priority. I always told myself that when I retired is the military would come first. Both of my brothers were in law enforcement. They come first, and everybody else is after that, if that sort of makes sense.
Yeah. So you said when you retired, can you go into a little bit about what you did prior?
I spent 27 years in the military. 21 were in the Army soft community as a special forces guy. But I was sort of in a distinct unit where we supported the national assets. It was called a crisis response force, where we were aligned. And what we did was prosecute targets. As long as the other SF job of training other foreign nationals and countries, our primary focus was to prosecute targets, direct action. And I sort of fell in love with that early on in my career and never left that field. So I'm sort of, it's not a one-trick pony, but most SF guys, mountain school, scuba, all Halo, all this stuff, and find their niche. I sort of found my niche in the shooting CQB world.
What years were you in?
I was in from 1991 to 17 or 18. I'm not sure. I retired in one of those years, 2017 or 18. I've been retired this will be my 5th year running this company. I know that.
Fantastic.
It's 2023, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Doing the math.
Doing the math. Somewhere, we're right on there.
Yeah, and so I think the first time, you probably get this a lot, and we talk about like the training industry a lot, and like where it started, and like how it kind of got like you can trace a lot of stuff back to like the Mag Bull videos, right? Like that was like the opening light on that industry to a lot of people that weren't in law enforcement or military, right? And it was sunset of the assault weapons ban. But I can remember you from the Viking Tactics videos, right? And yeah, that for my generation here. How old are you, Gabe?
I am going to be 40 this year.
Okay, so we're about the same age, right? I'm 42. I did a little brief stint in the military, but those videos, I can't tell you how many like times I watched some of that stuff. And then the books that Kyle did as well. And then seeing you and kind of following you as you transitioned out and watching you just kind of explode in the law enforcement and military training community has been really, really cool.
Oh, I appreciate it. I want to say explode, but
Well,
I appreciate it. But back in those days, we'd bring in professional shooters, 1 or 2 a year, and we brought in Kyle, and his personality was phenomenal. Like, he fit right in. I didn't mention any names, but some guys would go eat lunch in their car, and you're around a bunch of, meat eaters, and we're like, hey, dude, get out of your car, and we're playing jokes and doing all this stuff, and they just didn't get it. But he fought right back, and we brought him over once a year for the most part. And then when I went back to the States and started working as an instructor, I started helping him out. But I'll give all that dude credit in the world for teaching me how to shoot and the business side of it.
yeah, he's definitely one of I wouldn't call founding fathers, but he's definitely one of the guys right there.
Before I'd say exploded this industry, and it's good. It has really exploded with instructors, which I think is good. More back when you look in the early 2000s, there was 3 or 4, maybe that captured it all.
Yeah, it's definitely a growing industry, and we're seeing dudes that now you got dudes that like their whole time was kinetic, like their whole entire careers were going to it, and that brings us over to you, man. Tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, so I'm just a law enforcement officer. I'm still active. I've been a cop for a little over 15 years. Been assigned to our SWAT team going on 12 years. The last 8 or 9 of it full time on our team. So, that's in a gist of what I do. I'm one of our team leaders, and just trying to bring guys in to train and then go out and training myself. So I'm all over the place with training, teaching, and then actually taking classes all over the place as well. So. And
you do a lot of stuff based in, can we talk
Southern
about
California?
Southern
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
What made you transition from just doing it full-time LE to doing the training side?
I've been that guy that loves to train myself, right? So I go out and take every class I can take. I travel around the country and actually be a student. And then you get so much information and you start learning how to improve yourself. And my number one priority was bringing it back to my team and trying to make everybody else improve. And I was teaching for my agency for the last 10, 11 years. So it's kind of like, okay, now other people started asking like, hey, like, can you put something on over here for us? Or can you help us out with this? I'm like, yeah, of course I'll start doing it. And then it just kind of led into, hey, people are asking you guys to teach stuff. So, okay, now that's something I'll dabble in. But more or less, like my passion is training myself and then training my guys and making sure my guys are squared away. So, and that's what brought me to meeting Dan, right? Like, he just got out of the military. My team was transitioning tactics stuff, and we pulled him in to train a private for our team. And it's just like, fell in love, and it's like that relationship was built and just continually building on that. So
I'm glad that you can say that you fell in love with Dan.
yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
How could you not? How could you not?
But right off the bat, I'd say that the thing that most impressed me about Gabe is, you have an open mind. I still have an open mind. I'm still learning everything out there, and I learn something every single class. I think there's a lot of time of not just instructors, that people are, I want to say, their ego's too big to receive new information. And I was taught that early on. It's like, hey, man, this is a growing sport. Nobody's the best at anything. So I have a really open mind, and Gabe has an open mind, and we see things the same. And it was a great fit, because sometimes it's like, oh, well, you're in the military and you guys did that every single day. And, well, I understand the law enforcement aspect, and I'm learning the lingo, but Gabe, it's like, hey, man, yeah, he does it full time, but not everybody does. So how do you take this information, this curriculum, and make it work for people? And Gabe's really helped me out with that. Like, I bounce about, hey, dude, what do you think about this? I think we should dial it down and do all this stuff. So it's really helped me with the law enforcement aspect of putting out the curriculum me and Gabe put out, as far as how do you dial it down to that, if that sort of makes sense. Because I'm used to, my target audience was like, hey, dude, you better know this shit, else you ain't passing the course and you ain't gonna be here anymore. Now it's like, hey, it ain't easy, but it ain't hard, on the tactics wise. And we've kind of common ground, and that's why I think we're so successful at it, is finding a common ground and teaching at a level where anybody can grasp it.
So would you say most of your stuff is you're on the straight up tactics side of it?
It changed over the years. I started off running for the most part. Most of my marksmanship courses are fighting in and around cover. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on, hey man, let's run a build drill in under 1.5 seconds. They're all important. I just find, hey, what did Dan like the best? Fighting in and around cover, the contingencies of gunfighting, one arm, one eye, one leg. Hey, some of these, hey, why would I ever use that? Well, hey, if you're missing a leg, that's the only thing you can do is roll over and support side prone or some of these other contingency positions. So I really like that aspect of it. All aspects are important. That's how I first started off, and then it was probably 6 years ago at TTPOA, they asked me to teach a CQB, and I really said, man, I'm not going to bite into this. I just don't want to do this. Now I love teaching it because we've actually built a POI. We have I don't mind giving information. None of it's pertinent to what I did in the military. It's all lessons learned. And hey, dude, here's how we used to teach, man. Here's your handout at the end of the class because people need to grasp and understand that. So I'd say now my majority of my classes are CQB related. I still do marksmanship and all there, but my marksmanship focus is now going towards CQB in that specific environment. Marksmanship is marksmanship, shooting is shooting, but there's specific drills and things that we're going to start orienting. So this is the first year we've dropped the CQB marksmanship, and I'm teaching it this year. There's some classes lined up, but that's what we're going to come together and develop a good solid 2 and 3 day POI for marksmanship that focuses on the aspects of CQB.
What are, for some of our listeners that are out there that might be LE or MIL, what are some of the training restrictions on that? Like, what kind of facilities do you need to pull that class off?
Well, the marksman class is just a flat range. Like some that they ask me, preferably 270, so we can set up mock rooms and run some drills. If not, there's other things to do it, but it's been lessons learned. I don't know what you say, Gabe, but we need at least a building. Here's the bare minimum. Can I get a 5-room set? Like I've showed up before, and me and Gabe have had a hotel where, man, we got one hotel room and every room's the same. You're not going to get much out of that. So we don't need much. I'll be honest, we don't need much. We've been to facilities, we've come in here, and I buy tarp at Home Depot, and I've taken a huge cinema looking room and we can turn it into 10 rooms in an hour and a half before training starts. So as long as we have a facility, we can make it work. We're not the fact of like, hey dude, you need to rent out this school and here's 40 grand for me to come down there for a week. That's unrealistic for law enforcement agencies. Now there's some great facilities out there, but not everybody has that. And I don't want to take it away from me and Gabe don't want to take away from that small town that doesn't have a shoot house. Hey dude, go find an abandoned building. The perfect example is down in Victoria, Texas. It's probably one of the best training sites I've ever seen. And like, hey Dan, this is all we could get, this abandoned building on the airport. It was 12-room set. Nice. With a hallway. I'm like, this is better than half of the shoot houses I shoot in. So now it's like I used to just show up. Now it's like, hey dude, send me some pictures and videos, and I talk to the guys, or Gabe talks to the guys. This is what we need to set up training. But it's not that much, be honestly.
And you're doing that with sims and live fire when you can?
I would say, for the most part, I'd say man mark around, sims, UTM, force on force, whatever it is. If they have a live ball shoot house, we'd complement it with a live ball shoot house. But most people don't have a lot of access to that.
Yeah.
Preferably best. And I tell some of the guys that we've been working with for 3 years, hey, what's the next step? We need a live ball shoot house to take to the next level.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you
there can't be, I'm sorry, there can't be more than a couple dozen decent shoot house facilities in the country.
Oh, there's more than that.
There's more,
Yeah.
More than that?
Yeah, there's plenty of good ones. Here's the problem though, is getting a live ball, and the really good ones are like, yeah, you can use it for $4,000 a day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem. They're kind of pricey. These, like, man, I forget. There's ones in Georgia we always look at. There's these big facilities that are built to bring in people to train. The problem is just the price point.
Yeah.
I had a perfect example. Statesville SWAT guys say, hey, can I rent this facility? Yeah, you can. I'm like, well, that's the cost of the course. Ain't gonna work out.
The math ain't mathin'.
Yeah. I should have said a couple dozen reasonably priced facilities out
right,
there.
Gabe, we don't need much to work.
No, not at all. Yeah, and we can make a lot out of a little. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like setting up stuff out of tarp rooms and stuff like that. You're getting the learning objectives are getting it completed without having to have a fancy facility or something like that.
That's awesome that you're able
Yeah.
to work like that. What is one of the? Do you got any questions as I go on here? Or?
You can jump in if you want, or keep going.
I'm
Yeah,
jumped
he's
in,
been
man.
talking 98% of the time,
Yeah.
but he can jump in whenever he wants.
It's just so over your career, and as you've shifted into this type of the law enforcement, military, more the law enforcement focus on this. What have you seen? What were the biggest changes in like how you did it without giving away any tactics? But what were some of the biggest shifts between the two? Like, is there something that you did in the mill that you've since been like, hey man, you know what, this is a better way?
Yes, I'll be honest. There's things that we would do that I would initially put out, and I'm like, this is way too much to grasp. And I'm like, man, I've been doing this for 21 years. I completely understand that. But that's why when I first met Gabe Rivera, and he was like, hey, Dan, that's good information, but nobody's going to be able to do that. Not nobody's going to be able to do that, but there's a better method for this. And, you know, they have great analogies. We come in there, and one of this thing is in the CQB environment, people have a problem not being near each other. Oh, I got to go that way, and he's going that way. Man, I'm 10 meters from my buddy. And, you know, I always steal his analogies. It's like, hey, dudes, check it out. When you're a patrol officer, you and your buddy walk up to a dude, what do? You spread out and cut angles. Mm-hmm. It's the only thing we're doing in CQB, spreading out and cutting angles. Eliminate CQB is a game of angles. So a lot of, I think, how I taught the law enforcement community really, and Gabe helped me out a lot as far as, man, hey, take that and let's break it down at a little bit less of more of a common denominator for everybody in there. Because, I mean, if I'm doing the same job for 21 years and you've been doing it for 2, man, you need to know, like, I need to tell you, hey, dudes, this is how you build up from here, not just start up here.
Yeah, for sure.
So I know you said you're doing a lot more CQB oriented classes. Are you still doing like the urban gunfighter and stuff? Doing a lot of those still?
Yeah, it's a vehicle class. I use vehicles because they're great. I call them cover and half-ass cover.
Yeah.
It is fighting around a vehicle, but it's a military aspect. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, man, don't get caught in a CQB world. It's like, man, we better make some engagements out to 100 and pass around a cover because they're out there. You know, the Boston Bomber, you seen the movie, and I was lucky to get the debrief, man. That was an engagement behind vehicles at 90 meters away. So I kind of take I'd say military aspect, but a different approach to it, a little bit more longer range shooting behind pieces of cover and things like that. And then that is also, all right, hey, on this run, you just lost your left arm. Okay. All right, clear that double feed in your carbine with one arm. And they're like, dude, you can't do it. Yeah, you can.
I know one thing that stood out to me when I took a small segment at Symposium however many years ago was like the use of a front sight post with your red dot, like at off angle shooting and stuff. I thought that was pretty interesting, you know, making sure that it's still aligned and all that.
And that's one of those things I don't get pushback on it, but it's like, yeah, at 50 on in, it doesn't matter. And if you're a good shooter, you don't need a front sight post, right? I know that dot's dead center every single time, but under stress, you don't have a lot of time on it, and I flip that gun, that dot's going to move into this lower quadrant of that thing, and, man, that's not parallax free right there.
Yeah.
That's not parallax free. And my line of sight bore axis, how do I know where my dot is? Well, if I reference my front sight, I know it's dead center, and my line of sight bore axis is true. And it's easy shooting up, but when you get on your support side into awkward positions, that's when you really need to use it.
Yeah, especially like, you know, out at 100, like when
Yeah.
we were shooting, and beyond that, you know, like you said, 50 and in, it really doesn't matter. But when you start pushing out, you start to see it.
Yeah.
Now, since we're talking about it, I'm going to bring up the age-old debated one, and I think I've heard you speak about it before. Switching shoulders up.
Yeah, I know.
That's a big deep
It
breath.
is. There's a lot of people in communities where I work that says, dude, that's not a good idea. Well, like anything else, it should be uncomfortable. And I would never go in the room on my support side. I would never try to fight on my support side. But there's a time and place. If I'm posted up in this hallway looking down, I got a 40-meter shot, I'm going to switch on over and post up in my left shoulder. So only thing that's really exposed is my head and maybe part of my body, instead of hopping on out there and exposing half of myself. And I'll be honest, I don't knock anybody. Hey, dude, that's too complicated. Hey, it's not. When I first did it, I'm like, dude, this ain't gonna work. But over time, it's just as easy. I would say sometimes when we were training, I'd go, hey, dudes, it's support side day only. And everybody'd start kicking dirt. This sucks. My times ain't even nowhere near strong side. I said, well, you got to do it. You know, my philosophy is, man, it shouldn't happen in reality. It should happen on the flat range. We'd make up stuff like, what's that? What did you used to play, horse in basketball? Yeah, it'd be like 100 meters, right arm, underneath the tire of a vehicle, one shot. Is it hokey? Yeah, but in the end, it's getting you to think. And, you know, if you ever lose one of those things, it's going to happen. You're going to have to figure it the fuck out. So why not figure it out on the range before it really happens, is sort of the thought philosophy on it. But I don't get in arguments about tactics. I really don't. There's 6 in one, half dozen the other. There's so many. Gabe articulates trigger manipulation different than me, or we spit in the same thing. That's why I think it's good to hear it from other people.
Who are some of those other people you might want to go hear it from?
Everybody in the community today, I would take a class from. Every instructor at TTPOA, I'd take a class from. I really would. If they're here today, Texas, they're here for a reason. Get a different aspect of it. And I personally do some soul searching this year, and Dan hasn't. I compete in a 3-gun match for a charity event every year, but I got 3 on the calendar this year, and I'm going to take 2 classes from instructors, because, man, I ain't afraid to lose my shit in front of students. It happens all the time. It's just, you're a better shooter getting up in front of 20 dudes when you're teaching a class and shooting, because that's self-induced stress, and you're just better that way. Like, I can burn it down and do PRs all day long on my range at myself by myself because nobody's looking at me. But can you do it one time in one run only in front of 25 dudes? But I kind of grew up that way, training with all my peers. It was shit talking, and every day was a contest.
Yeah.
Every day was a contest.
What about you, Gabe? Who are you looking to train with in the future?
So I do train with a lot of people, different companies. Again, a lot of the people that are here, the TTPOA brings out great shooters. But yeah, like, so what I have on the calendar as far as guys that are coming out for my team, obviously Dan's coming out. We have, we just got done with Hades, so Charlie and Zach, JJ Rakaza, Ben Stoker, Pranka. So, but to be honest, there's a bunch of people that are already here that we've already brought out and trained with. So there's so many good instructors or teachers out there that you can grab something from. And I'm of the attitude that you want to get a bunch of different perspectives, because just because it works for some, it might not work for others. So I'm learning not only methods that could be working for me, but I got 45 guys that I'm going to bring stuff back to that they might not understand the way I'm putting it out this way. But then I go to another instructor, I'm like, hey, he's saying the same thing, but just in a different manner. Maybe they might be able to grasp onto that, and that helps them. So, like, I'm open to taking a class and learning from anyone and everyone. Everybody's background is something that I want to learn from. I'm dabbling more into the competition side of it. Like, I'm shooting a lot more USPSA competition stuff, which has helped me, again, with that, putting your stuff out there. Like, hey, go out and shoot. Now you're racked and stacked with everybody and their mom, and you see how you're performing. And then I try to bring that back to the guys, having that attitude of, hey, we're all here to get better. So you might not be the best shooter out there today, but you know where you stand, and now you can push from there to improve. So
I'd say one of the first classes I ran when I retired was Bill Blauer's guys out in Washington. And his guys can burn it down.
Yeah.
They burn it down. And they're like, hey, Dan, what about this? Because we're talking about the front sight post, and man, I learned a lot of things from those guys. And this is what I like about Shooter Symposium is you flip-flop instructors. This year I shot with Chuck and Jared. And, man, just how Chuck runs his range, man, I stole that from him. Like,
oh, the whole, like, very procedural.
yeah, dude, you got to have your shit together.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's been times where I show up and, hey, here's our range box, and it's got 5 paper clips with holes in it and like 4 staples.
Yeah.
Now I spend the money, pack my own shit, and just how he's a funny dude. Like, I've learned a lot about personality. When I first started, I was very rigid. Hey, get your shit together, guys. Now I have my lunchtime story. I tell 2 stories a day and all this stuff. Just how Chuck presents the gun and his lingo, I learned a lot. And I learned a lot from Jared too. Both of them, how they articulate trigger manipulation, I stole from both of them.
Yeah.
But they already know it. If they don't, they know it now.
They know it
Yeah,
now.
Jared's another one that he's going to be on the calendar coming out for us too. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've that's the first time we actually met was Shooter Symposium, and this last one when we were doing a podcast, you were in and out, and your training schedule didn't allow for us to sit down and talk. So thanks again for making time for us today.
Because you were there with Jared and Alex and everybody else. Like, Dan, hop in on this, man. And I'm like, dude, I got to set up for tonight, bro.
Yeah.
I said, if I get caught into this thing, dude, I'm kind of meticulous about that. Like, if it starts at 8, my shit's going to be set up at 7:30. And I just take a couple deep breaths, go through what I'm going to do. I need 30 to 45 minutes on the range before people show up. That's just the way I always work. When I was tasked to run the range in the military, it better be set up by the time the dude showed up.
Yeah, ready to go.
Just always stuck with me.
So you brought it up, and I'm going to ask you to tell me a lunchtime story. Can you do it on the fly?
Yeah, you want to hear it?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, so I was in St. Louis. I go out there training their SWAT team, and a buddy of mine is a team leader out there, and we had some drinks and stuff like this, and he's like, "Hey, Dan, we got this new dude on the team. We call him Lenny." I'm like, "Why Lenny?" He's like, "You ever seen Mice and Men?" You know, big, goofy, dumb guy, right? He's a prior Marine. Nothing against prior Marines. Both my brothers are prior Marines. But you ever seen Heartbreak Ridge? He looks like the Swede, like 6'7", 4% body fat. And we're out there, and he questions him what's going to happen in the next 4 days. He's the first dude to raise his hand. I'm like, "What's up, Lenny?" And he goes, "Can we swear on this?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, who the fuck told you to call me that, bro?" I'm like, "Your boss, my buddy. Relax." He's like, I said, "Hey, guys, go top off 3 mags, whatever I said." He's like, "Hey, bro, I need to talk to you on the side." I'm like, "What's up, Lenny?" He's like, "Dude, stop with the Lenny shit, man." He's like, "Hey, dude, every 40 minutes, I got to pull off, eat, drink water, and take my vitamins." I said, "Lenny, you can shoot steroids up your ass when I say go take a break." "Oh, that's the way it's going to be?" So we're sitting at lunch, and he pulls out this fishing tackle box of all of this Plano. He had chicken breast cut up, celery, fucking 1,000 vitamins. And I go, "Lenny, dude, that's kind of a fucked up lunch." He goes, lifts up his shirt and goes, "Look at this and look at you." I said, "Fair enough, Lenny. Fair enough. You're like 27, I'm 46, but yeah, you got me, bro. You got me." So I didn't say a word. Then he goes, "Hey, bro, why is this a fucked up lunch?" I said, "I'm going to tell you why it's a fucked up lunch. Dude, you got no roast beef, no dark meat chicken, no duck. You got no dark meat in your diet." I made up some number. I said, "Dude, dark meat's got like 18% more protein than white meat, and it burns body fat twice as fast as any hydroxy cut out there." And he just looked at me for like 5 seconds. Didn't say a word. 3 days later, "What's up, Lenny?" "Hey, bro, I can't find that dark meat diet online." And everybody starts laughing. His boss goes, "Hence the name Lenny, dude. His wife's black. You get it? Dark meat, dude. He's been fucking with you for 3 days, dude." So those are the type of humorous stories I tell. I got a bunch of them.
That's awesome. We appreciate it. That's fantastic.
You brought up Jared and Alex a little bit ago. Y'all have a big class coming up.
Yeah,
there.
you know, he's like, I forgot where I first met Jared, but we're pretty similar. We get along. It's like when I first
Y'all built
met Gabe.
great fires.
Yeah, we did. I think it was probably I think I met him at TTPOA before. I know it's OTOA the first time, and then we did Shooter Symposium out there, and everybody's picking on me because they're like, Shockey was like, "Dude, nobody knows who you are, bro." I'm like, dude, how many, you got like 8 dudes in your class. I'm like, well, I'm out here, motherfucker. We're going to train. Right? So everybody's like kind of picking me on that. I think it's my first year when I retired, but we just hit it off real good there. So, and Alex too, just through this community, we're good friends, and we're like, hey dude, let's put this event on. And Alex has an awesome facility up in New Hampshire. So we're like, let's see how it goes. I mean, I think it's been posted for like 6 weeks and it's full.
Yeah, sold out.
Yep.
Sold out. Because I messaged, Alex came by, we did a podcast, we talked about it in the podcast, and I messaged you that day. I was like, hey man, I'm dropping it tomorrow. Do you want me to get you a class slot? Because how it goes, usually once we can put it out to our listener base, I'm not saying that we're the only reason, but like we put it out a little bit more, right? Just a little bit helps. I'm like, it's going to be gone. There's 4 slots left. And he's like, I can't commit this far on. I was like, well, I can. So if my wife is listening right now, in September, I am going to New Hampshire for a few days, but we're definitely looking forward to that. And you're teaching, what's your portion of that?
Don't quote me on this. I think day 1, Jared is teaching pistol. Day 2, I'm going to teach carbine around vehicles and cover. And then day 3, I won't say long range, but Alex is going to take it a little bit further, and then we're going to culminate all that into the last half day. Nice. But there's some other surprises going on out there for the class to be kind of good. Like maybe, I don't know, rally cars racing around.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're going to make it a good event.
It's definitely really, I think that might just be my one event for the year since it is.
I know who's not sponsoring it, Bud Light, though. Bud Light's not a sponsor.
Yeah, I think it was Coors Original. Coors. What's the drink of choice for that? Is there a drink of choice?
No, I don't think so yet.
I know.
We'll leave that up to Jared for the basketball.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So, what do y'all have coming up specifically together? What's y'all's next?
Man,
if you can talk about it.
Oh yeah, we're running. This will be. It's only one day. The POA is going to be 2 and 3 days, but we're going to run our CQB marksmanship here, and then we have a CQB in California we're doing, and a CQB marksmanship out there. And I float it like this. Man, I don't want Gabe to get fired from his job, but I float him out, hey, when can you teach without getting in trouble? Because he's got a job to do there. So he helps me as much as I can. And I think this year we've got a couple of new CQB 2.5s on that he's going to run solo along with Brandon. And as many classes I can fill next year is Gabe, and can run what he can for me.
So Gabe, do you do most of the stuff out of just in California, or do you?
Yeah, so anything that's under my company name is just California, and most of them it's post-approved, like law enforcement courses, stuff that we're teaching. Anything that's outside of my department training. So, and then anything tactics related or anything that Dan, I'll go out and travel with Dan. But again, it's finding that balance of, hey, like I'm at work constantly, so finding the time that I can get away and obviously help him. I love going out traveling and meeting guys from across the country and just, sharing experiences and knowledges of stuff that maybe we've encountered, utilizing that style of movement that have benefited us, and then maybe bringing that to another team that maybe haven't encountered that type of situation before. So, yeah.
And it's great to have him there because it's like he knows all the assets they have. I'm pretty familiar, and we had the same assets, but they're like, oh, yeah, you used them before. No, the Gabe's like, dude, we have these. This is how you employ that, and this is how we do it. Like, my main focus is action on objective. Our main focus, but Gabe does a really good job articulating some of the post-assault, pre-assault activities that go on, and I get this all the time. It's great to have LE clientele get an LE version of it. Mm-hmm. Like, no, it works. We do it. It's not that hard, and it really helps out because, like, oh yeah, you guys have been doing it forever, man. It's like, no, there's no such thing as military CQB. It's surgical. It's the same thing law enforcement guys do. Tactics in general.
That's cool.
And Gabe, I know you've trained with like a lot of different companies and instructors, and is there any like couple that like just stand out that you had like really like big like breakthrough moments or anything? Or
So as far as breakthrough moments, I wouldn't say there's like, oh my gosh, like this changed everything, because I do try to get out there and train a lot. And it's like we didn't invent shooting 20 years ago. It's been around forever. But again, there's companies that I consistently try to bring back to expose my guys to, because I can go out and take a class and then I try to bring the information back to my guys, and it's like, okay, I'm not putting their POI to justice, right? Like I'd rather have them come out and share that with my guys. So there's companies that I constantly bring out, or we have on contract or whatever, for whether it's tactics or hard skills, whether it's shooting, night vision or whatever. So there's so many, but there are those that have stood out. And I posted recently, obviously bringing Dan out every year, like the guys from Hades or Mike Pannone, or then looking at competition shooters, right? When we're looking at like specifically building hard skills, whether it's JJ or Ben or Rob Latham or something like that. But there are those guys that I consistently try to go back and learn from, and or Jedi and stuff like that. You might have taken the class once, but I'm going to take the same class over and over and over again just to get exposed to the understanding of the methodology of how they're putting out. So then again, I can try to bring it back to my guys, but it's always better to hear it from the horse's mouth, have them come out and teach my guys. So, but there's so many options out there. It would literally fill this entire time trying to fill of who I recommend of training with, right? Like Pressburg, I ran into him before we came up here, and it's like, yeah, he's definitely, I've had him out for my guys before. I'll probably bring him out soon. The same thing, I literally was talking about range setup. Like my guys now run our range a specific way that's done deliberately, because taking Chuck's class, understanding that how that just makes the range training day efficient. Like we're not out here, like everything needs to be done in a certain way for a reason. Like you have to understand the whys behind what you're doing. So
yeah, like Dan said earlier, Chuck does a really good job of that. Like everything is planned out, everything is methodical, and there's a reason why he does everything. And I think it does make a difference.
And it's funny for me, never coming from the military, understanding like that military aspect of being efficient in how we're doing things, and Hades is the same way, where everything's done in a fashion like, hey, this is how things needs to be done. It's very efficient. The classes run smoothly, and it's just learning and grabbing those little things that you might. I came here for a shooting class, but I'm getting other aspects that I can bring back to my team that it's going to make us better and more efficient in what we do. Mm-hmm. So,
and I would imagine that, I mean, the fact that you met him and he was your student, as an instructor, you're always learning from your students as well.
Oh yeah.
I've got a little instructor time in my career, and I think going in and doing some of that basic marksmanship instructing led me to become a better shooter, just because one, you're teaching it every day, but you're reinforcing those skills, and then you're learning different things from students, because the student might do something or say something different, or be like, hey, the way you said this made more sense to me. And you're like, oh, well, that's just kind of how I say it. But I now understand why that makes more sense to you.
yeah.
And I used to be very rigid, because in the military you were taught this is your grip. This is the only way to do it. But the dude's shooting good, I ain't going to mess him up. And I've learned a lot for the last 5 years watching people. I'm like, I'm not going to change that guy. He's got the basics down, trigger manipulation. I don't care if his thumbs ride like this. His grip is good on the gun. You don't have to be that rigid about it. But on Gabe's point, sometimes it's like you got to hear it from the horse's mouth. We used to bring in guys, but hey Dan, can I go take this class? I think it was Benny Cooler, Mike Voigt, and he comes back and goes, hey dudes, this modified low ready might work in CQB, and we're like, dude, get out of the team room. You're too new for us. Get out of here, dude. We blew him off, and then like a year later, we brought him in, and we're like, dude, modified low readies, we might start using that. He's like, I told you guys that a year ago. Yeah, but he told us the difference. It's different. It came from him.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes that is the difference when you've either you've invested that time or that money on the civilian side or the LE side, to where somebody can tell you, or you can watch it, or you can hear it from somebody else. But until you make that financial investment that says, I'm invested in what this dude's telling me, so I might want to listen to it.
Yeah.
That can make the difference.
Yep.
So one thing we don't do a lot of, and I mean, we talk to instructors all the time, but I want to know, what are you running right now? Like, what's your go-to setup?
My go-to setup is a Type A blaster. They built 13.7s for me. Those guys are on it, man. I just click with Brandon and Chris from Type A right off the bat. I'm more of a personal friendship guy, not a business relationship where I don't hear from you a year and here's your paycheck. I don't need that. I just want a business aspect, and they do a lot. Heck, they're making our carbine accessories now, which is great for us. They're actually, you look at the guns they built, they dropped a 2011. They do a lot of commemorative. They did a Mogadishu edition rifle. I ain't going to give away some other stuff, but they are coming out with a Glock very soon. So that's who I outfit with and run.
Okay.
And that actually rolls into another good topic. So Lead Faucet does the training, but you also have a family of like products and stuff
Yes.
that you put out.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's tough because you have all these industry, like Velocity makes our sling. We're coming out with another version in our dump pouch. We got a belt prototype. I've been talking about a new belt for 3 years. It's just, they're so book solid. I get back, and it's just finding the right time to deal with them, where I'm not dissatisfied with them all, but we sat down, had a good meeting. Everything's going to come the bat. Type A's doing it. It was like, hey, 30 at a time. Now we're kind of short, but they're doing a hand stop, big and small for us, a sling swivel, a QD mount. We're coming out with a mount that will hold Trigicon products on a carbine. And these guys, all the carbine accessories we have now, man, they just made like 500, and they're just going to for the year. Yeah, that aspect of it, I wish it was better. It's just freeing up the time to do that. I've been concentrating on, when we first wrote our business plan, there's 4 different aspects, and I've put 98% of my aspect into the training department. But industry relations, I've put a lot of effort into it, which is going well for us. So this year and next year is going to be product focus for us.
Nice.
Because I can't do this forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do it forever. It comes and goes. That's what it is, man. It's like, hey, age, you're only really, I use this, I don't know how to say this, but you got a lot of dudes like Pat Rogers and these guys have been teaching for years. Are they still valid? Hell yeah, they are. They're still valid. So I'm not saying there's a validity aspect in it, but, you come and go. Hey, this dude owned the military contract for years. Somebody else takes it, and that's how this industry is. So we're prepping for less classes and still future in this industry, whether it's with industry or focusing on products. But we'll always be part of it. But we're not so one-sided focused that if training goes away, we can't survive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can't be in 2 places at once.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
that's something we've seen with, Jedi. He's bringing in his AI instructors and being like, all right, this guy is as good as me if you need me in 2 places at once, because here we are. Yep. And it might be, Hunter might teach something just a little bit different and reach a different audience. And that is something that we're seeing and more in the training industry, because I don't want to say our community can only sustain so much. But if you really want to grow and do that, you can't be in 2 places at once, right? Yeah. And you're also working with Hux Works?
Yep.
Working with Victos,
Safariland, Trigicon, running cloud defense lights. I'm gonna fuck Aguila ammo. I say that right?
Aguila?
Aguila ammo. Yeah. We had a good meeting with that SHOT Show there, so they're going to start supporting us with ammo too.
Cool. They're local to us.
Yeah, they have a facility up there in Conroe. They actually use our range to
nice.
low development and stuff.
Yep. They're U.S. based operations. They're local to us.
Of course, Recoil Magazine. I got good ties with Ian Harrison. He's awesome, great dude. Like, when I go out to Phoenix, I shoot with that dude a lot. And you go back, it's like people don't know he won the first Top Shot. You know who else was on that show? JJ Ricarza.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good famous dudes if you go back and watch it that he mows them on down. That dude can really shoot. So when I shoot with him, I'm in receive mode. And if you want to know anything about how a gun works or anything going in the industry, I always reach back to him. So I consider those guys one of my good sponsors too, because they have my own channel on their website, and we film about 10, 15 videos a year with those guys.
They're good boys over at Recoil.
Yeah. Chris used to write for Recoil back in the day.
Back in the day before he made me too busy. Got too busy doing other stuff. So we'll talk about it real quick. What do you've got coming up, Gabe?
Outside of work, I have a couple post pistol classes in California under my own company, and then traveling a bunch with Dan. So, and Dan's literally all over the United States. So,
and you're working with. We'll talk about a couple companies that you're working with now. So the reason I didn't ask you what you're running is I kind of know what you're running. So what are you running on a daily basis now?
Yeah. So since obviously I'm still active at work, I run either, if it's work related stuff, I run what I'm issued at work, or if I'm outside on my own, I have something set up very similar to what I'm running at work, right? So currently running a Hodge defense rifle, 12.5 inch, surefire suppressor, a T2 aim point with a BE Maul, IR Vis laser, and then a surefire scout light or whatever. And then as far as pistols, currently I'm using an Agency Arms pistol M&P 2.0, but we're making the transition over to a staccato pistol. So that's something that I went out and got one, thanks to Ike here. But that's something that obviously when I first made the team, we were shooting 1911s, transition away from that to a striker fired M&P, and then now we're making the transition back to a 2011 style pistol. So understanding that now I have manual safeties other than a striker fired that has internal safeties. So it's just, for me, I like, if I'm going to be carrying that on duty, I want to be as familiar with it as possible, so that's what I constantly using. So
fantastic. So you're also working with Howitzer Clothing?
Yeah, so they did a collab. So Eric, the owner of Howitzer, is a big supporter of law enforcement. You know, the majority of what they sell, they contribute it back to a program called Project Blue Lion, which they pay for law enforcement training. They pay for instructors to come out and teach people. So he hit me up. He's like, would you mind doing this shirt? Like, a lot of the proceeds go back to pretty much teaching law enforcement. I'm like, yeah, whatever I can do. I don't see myself as being any big name person, but if I can do anything to bring back to the community that I'm obviously a part of, then let's do it. Like, awesome. Like, so yeah, he's huge into supporting law enforcement.
Fantastic. And you've got California Range Day. You were did you go out to that?
Yeah, so the California
past
Range weekend. Yeah, so again, through connections, they asked me, hey, would you mind coming out and teaching? I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, I don't dabble too much in teaching civilians, like, because I teach for work. Normally, most of my stuff is California Post approved, so it's law enforcement related. Yeah. But when you start realizing that there's so many civilians out here that take this profession, or not profession, but the shooting part of it way more serious than law enforcement, it opens your eyes up to, hey, like, these people don't even have to do this for a living, but yet they value this skill set so much that they're out on their own time, their own dime, training to become better. And it's good to be around that. Like, and that's why shooting USPSA competitions, it's like you're shooting with, just everybody. And you see people that are so skillful in the craft that I have to do for a living, but yet people that do this for a living don't take it as seriously as others. So it's like, how can I take this and try to bring that motivation to law enforcement and say, hey, there's people that don't even have to carry a gun, but you do so for a living. Why aren't you not taking this seriously and putting the time and effort into becoming better? Because it's not only just for you, but it's for your partners, it's for the people that we serve. So yeah, I just enjoy that aspect of being around good people that take it seriously, that actually, they're not out here just, to take a class for the day to be involved with an event, but they're actually taking it home and practicing and doing the things that I try to tell my guys to do. But it's like, hey, if I'm not getting paid and I'm not getting sent on overtime, then I'm probably not going to do it. I'm like, okay, cool. So you don't get to pick that time when something actually occurs. So you're leaving that up to luck or hope, and hope's not a good course of action. You have to actually put the time and effort into building up those hard skills. So now that's just running in the background. Yeah. So, but yeah, for me, it's like I try to learn from, like Dan said, I try to learn from anyone and everyone. I don't care what your background is. If I can take something from you and make myself better or make my guys better, then I'm going to take it. So
we were sitting down with one of our really good friends last night, and I'm not going to say what agency, but he was talking about how they're issued, what were they? They just were issued new pistols and new X300s, and one of the dudes on the daytime's like, I'm not putting the light on my pistol. I don't need it. I work day shift. And, and he's like, okay. And he's like, and you can't make me put it on there because it's not written in the regulations. And he's like, well, okay. So now he's got to go in and back in and be like, okay, how can we write this in the regulation that will require you to carry it, because he's carrying it in a Safariland pistol or holster that if you don't have that light on it, you're going to be able to get that
attention.
Yeah. And so now you're talking about a whole different safety issue besides not having a fucking light on your gun. Anyway, sorry, I won't mention the.
So I'll say this, like as far as the weapon-mounted light, right? So again, agency requires you to have a light, not necessarily a weapons-mounted light, right? But it makes it a lot easier if you do have that option. Obviously, having additional lights on you as well, because it doesn't matter if it's daytime, you go into dark spaces all the time. So a weapon-mounted light is just an added benefit while you're in that environment. But again, having multiple options for light is something you want to fall back on too. So
I've been a civilian for a long time now, and when I had two small children that one couldn't walk because you're either carrying her or in a freaking carrier, I had a weapon mounted light. Because what happens if I have one of them and I'm in a situation where it's dark? And that's a dude who's working from home, and his biggest task is going to the grocery store, and I can't even get into it on a mindset thing. So not even going to start. Going on a rant.
Get off the soapbox.
Anyway, so howitzer, Victos.
As far as me being, I think that's for the most part, that's pretty much who I'm associated
with. And Mindset Tactical.
Yeah, so Mindset Tactical is the company that we kind of started with a couple of the guys that I work with, just because we were getting asked to teach stuff. So teaching stuff through the department, I work for a larger agency, and we would get really busy, and it's like these outside agencies were asking us, hey, can we come attend that training? It's like, no, not through our agency, but we can do it on the side. And that's kind of how we started. But as far as being associated with other companies, so Howitzer recently, then obviously Victos. But I think that's for the most part. And
where can folks find you, like online?
So
Instagram?
Through Instagram, it's GRivera05, or website mindsettactical.com. But to be honest, everything's just mainly through Instagram. GRivera05 is my main page. So.
And you actually have a Big Tex discount code, don't you?
I do. It's you know what? Now I'm thinking about this. I do. Yeah, Rivera 10 is my Big Tex discount code, and one other company I am associated with, which brought it up, is We Go Home. So We Go Home is like a supplement company, but started by a law enforcement officer that's building supplements for first responders, right? And again, I'm not big into like taking proteins and all this other stuff, but
you're not Lenny.
I have before. yeah, I'm not Lenny, but the stuff actually is good. The person that's running the company is very focused on quality products, right? Because he knows who the end users are, who's pushing this to first responder, military, and it actually tastes decent too. So like the We Go Home supplements is another thing that I'm somewhat associated with.
Cool. Yeah. And training wise, where can they find your schedule or y'all's schedule?
Yeah, we just redid our website, and then what you're going to see up on it is Juice did it by hand. Now we actually have it professionally done, but it's not done yet. My training calendar is up there. It's leadfaucettactical.com, Lead Faucet on Instagram. I am Dan Brokos on Instagram too, but don't go there. Stick to the Lead Faucet one and all that stuff. But we will be dropping Gabe as one of our instructors on the website. My older brother was on the FBI HRT out of Pittsburgh. He's retired. I've taken him a couple classes, so he gets the hang of things. We'll be dropping him as well, and hopefully another on there to
Fantastic.
free up some space for next year and add some classes.
And free up some space for you.
Yes. Yeah, free up some space.
Because you're retired, right? Like, I mean, you're retired.
Technically, but not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't. I tease Juice all the time. I'm like, man, I just want to retire. She's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
I can't. I just like doing it, man. I don't have an ego. I like learning. I learn just as much as I put out as far as watching different things on whether it's a flat range or in the shoot house and everything like that. And I just like being part of the community. I don't know, you kind of, like my first year of retirement was like 1,000-pound rucksack lifted off my back, being responsible for 158 dudes and all kinds of stuff downrange and at work. And I was just like, holy cow, I can once focus on there. Then year 2 was, I want to say I hit rock bottom mentally, because for 27 years that was my existence. Now it was like, yeah, dude, the retirement party, and you stay in touch with dudes for about 3 months, and next thing you know, it's like, who's Dan? Yeah. I mean, that's really what happens, and it's. I don't care what line of work you're in. When you retire, you're going to go through that. So years 3 and 4, I built back up to it. Now I'm just used to it. But you know, I still always have an SF family. I still have good friends. I reach out in the time, but I spend more time in the instructor, law enforcement, and still military community. I do some work for some Special Operations Wounded Warrior and SF Trust. I still am back to the community, but this is, you know, the gun industry is my family now, so to speak. I always have my old family, but it's sort of replaced the emotional need to be part of something, because I've always been part of a team, and it was like, yeah, family's always first, but you know, in reality they always are. But hey, it's Christmas, yeah, that doesn't matter, I'll deploy. Heck, man, I missed the birth of my second born son, dude, by 3 days. I mean, that's just, was I mad about it? No, I was out with the dudes downrange. So
yeah,
you know, it is what it is when it comes down to that. But yeah, I'm focusing more on juicing the kids now. They're it, but you still need that emotional support from a community that's going on.
You definitely do.
Yeah.
It's definitely,
Yeah.
and I've brought it up before, I think, in the podcast, that, you know, the fact that I work with 4 other veterans, you know, on a daily basis, and jokingly, one of our guys will come out, I'll say something, and he's like, Roger Top, and move out, you know, and I'm just like, you know, and like, okay, cool. But it does, when you're working with dudes that have the same mindset, it makes it a lot, it makes it a lot better. For sure. For sure.
And I'm at the point now, like, me and Juice had a big thing. It's, yeah, there's always a financial thing of business, but I'm done traveling alone. Like, I got Stitch though. He helps a lot, but man, it's great. You're not always going to be on your A game every day on the range, and it's great to have an AI. I call them AIs, another instructor, say, hey, dude, you run this drill. Hey, dude, you demo this. Hey, man, 2 eyes is way better than 1. And, you know, mine's a class minimum, but it's not this year. It's like, man, if you can go, you're going to come with me. It's cool. Just, nothing gets lonely on the road, but I just, you got to grow and develop. And the fact that, hey, man, now Dan's bringing 2 dudes with him is just that much better for it. You need more eyes on him.
Everybody's getting.
Me, Gabe, and Brandon, we ran 3 one time. Mm-hmm. We stretched the CQB out to 32 or 36, 12 per, and just did a round robin in Garland's facility, which is a phenomenal facility. So that's really my goal this year, is just to start bringing instructors, and I won't say add more classes, but you know, you gotta, I hate the word, you gotta progress and change a little bit, and that's why we're kind of changing some of the CQB marksmanship and some of the curriculums around CQB 2.5s coming out, just things like that to add on to what we're doing. Because like you said earlier, you can take a 4-day class from us. Are you going to grasp anything? And I think the biggest thing is like, hey, Dan, we sort of agreed with that, but the 12 other dudes say we're sticking to the old way. And that's common, and that doesn't hurt our feelings, because we tell them, hey, dude, we're not out here to change your SOPs. At the end of the day, if you take 1 or 2 things, and I just ran into a guy, me and Gabe ran into a guy, he's like, hey, Dan, that was a great class. Dudes don't want to go that way. But They understand how to enter room, sectors in depth, and some of the other things that we cover in there. And me and Gabe, we did our job. Did our job. If you can pick up 1 or 2 things a day, then we've done our job.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure. Well, dudes, I know y'all are busy this week. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you all so much for coming on.
Yeah,
Good to sit
no
down.
problems at all.
Really appreciate it.
Yep.
You want me to do it?
Yeah,
You want
you can roll out. You got the good angle.
Got the good angle. Well, you've got a good angle. We can zoom in on you over there. All right, if you've listened to us this long, please check out Dan's website, leadfaucettactical.com,
Yep.
mindsettactical.com. Hit them up on Instagram. We'll have links in the description. Let us know how you like this Let us know how you like this podcast in the comments. Tell us we sucked if you want to. I don't care. If Lenny's out there, let us know.
And make sure you guys hit these up because LFT doesn't have a big text discount code for some reason.
Okay, we'll get off here and we'll hook that up. But thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
See you, fellas.
Adios.